Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. What a doozy of a story. Need support. I'm new here. My story keeps getting deleted because apparently I don't have enough time on this Reddit account to make a post. But here goes. 8 years ago I caught my husband on various affair-seeking websites. I believed we could survive what I then learned was an addiction to porn, and that includes an addiction to secrecy. I was home raising 2 babies and fully financially dependent on him, and I chose to help him rather than leave him. He went to one therapy session. I then was convinced he was okay and that he'd get over it. I was a virgin bride, in a very high control religion, and so I had no exposure to any of this, and I had no idea just how damaging it is. FF to this year, and I'm older, wiser, out of the religion, and my spidey senses have been going off for a long time. I even tried to participate in his porn habit despite my disdain for it. I reasoned that he probably wouldn't hide it if I was part of it. Wrong again. I discovered he had a secret credit card that I knew nothing about with at least a year's worth of charges. He's got an OnlyFans account, and subscriptions. I had to Google and call 1800 numbers to find out what they are. I found a product called Pleasure, which is a synthetic hormone. Placebo at best. At first I thought it was sweet that he was trying to attract me, but then I discovered the bottle to be empty. Not only that, but I did a lot of digging and he has bought this product at $80 for 2 milliliters since winter. This is a product one uses for in-person meetups. There's another product from this company that he buys. The company is founded by an A-star. In addition to this, he's been really angry with me and controlling with money. Telling me I am the reason we aren't getting ahead, and all the usual gaslighting that occurs. Anything to keep me feeling small. Today was the absolute kick-a-toe. His GPS location patterns are still connected and his emails are still on his computer. Thank you, pre-added passwords. For months he's been frequenting this one address right around the corner from our house. You guessed it, I went to that house. A sweet 85-year-old woman lives there, but interestingly, according to his GPS, he's been at this address for hours at a clip. He'd leave for work, stop there, then proceed to work. I can't figure it out. My friend and I start speaking with the neighbor, and I divulge what's happening and ask if they've noticed anyone by his description or by a vehicle. Nope, nothing. The only suggestion they had was that he's possibly connecting to this woman's IP address and it's coming up on his Google map. Maybe he's up to some shadier shit than I even imagined. Does anyone in here know how this address keeps coming up on his GPS? No one lives in the home except this elderly woman. I'm tech savvy, but this is way beyond me. I'm at a loss for this part of the story, and I have enough to determine that I want a clean break. I just have no funds, nothing with my name on it, all his, and I'm trying to execute a plan. He knows exactly what he's been doing and I've sensed it. I'm amazed at how horrific some people can be. 15 years, kiddos, an entire life, done. Now is the best time to seek a lawyer and gain his advice on next steps. Gather as much evidence as you can. If you can't figure out what's going on at that address, when you serve him, try to get him to admit it while caught in it all. Thank you so much for replying. I spoke with a lawyer for OFC. How do people afford lawyers? $6,000 just to hire her. Is a personal loan a good idea? I can't believe I became a cliché. /unsuspecting housewife, dizzy face, dizzy. I'm 38 years old. Can you believe this? You definitely need someone to represent your interests when dealing with a controlling husband. It does suck feeling like you have nothing and have to start from scratch. But bound and determined, you will make it. Seek out all the domestic abuse resources you can find. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you. Just remember, you're not the first to go through this journey and won't be the last, so find support from people who understand your situation. If he has a VPN on his phone, he can spoof his location. It's a setting within the VPN. I tried it myself because someone on a sub was specifically asking about snap maps and it worked. Before I spoofed the location, it said where I was. After it said I was where I had the GPS set to. The only other thing I can think of is if the neighbor was female, she might be the AP and is trying to throw you off the scent. This makes sense too. Thank you for the input. Wow. Do you have your own car? Next time it says he is there, go there and see if you see his car. At least that way you will know if he is really there or not. I'm so unsuspecting, I really have to start tracking him. This was right under my nose, y'all. I feel so bad for you. The only thing I can think of is her wireless is unsecured or the router has its default username and password. Then he could plug in a wireless extender between your houses and hers, which would allow him to connect to her Wi-Fi. I'm not sure how far apart your houses are, but he could be 200 yards/meters away and get on her Wi-Fi with this method. Again, I'm sorry for you. Thank you so much. That's great info. Do you have any idea as to a reason to go on to someone else's Wi-Fi? Hiding something, most likely. Isn't that illegal? It's illegal depending on where you live and what he's looking at. For example, it's illegal everywhere to look at certain images of children. It can also keep you from seeing his history. What he's doing is called piggybacking. Illegal. Yes. But it is sharing Netflix accounts and that doesn't stop anyone. As for why he's doing it, I'm not sure. He might think you're monitoring his network traffic at home. He may be using a burner phone. He has it hooked to your Wi-Fi. Leave it there. Then goes to the AP location with his other phone. You're seeing a second cell, I bet. Eyes, oh my. This makes sense. I can absolutely see this. I appreciate the feedback. Talk to a few diff lawyers. Get some legal advice. Stay strong, thumbs up. Thank you everyone, so much. Legal aid should be able to help you. Does anyone know what a Bobcat Miner helium hotspot for HNT is? $700 charge. Googled it, still weird and cryptic. It's a cryptocurrency/crypto miner. He is maybe using her internet/power for crypto mining because it can take a lot of energy. Do you know he's into crypto? I'm sorry that you are going through this, but it's for the best. You will be able to get half of everything. It's always better to get evidence first, but most likely not necessary. You need a lawyer for sure if you want your half of everything. Sometimes cheaters will park down the street or around the corner of the actual address they are visiting, especially if they don't want their vehicle to be seen in the driveway. Divorce, keep half. Get a job, live on. Addiction is a horrible thing and it looks like it's got its hooks in him. Update. He knows I know. Need support. Quick context, porn/sex addiction, years of it. Spending thousands of dollars and blaming me for our inability to get ahead. This morning he came to me after a few days of a weird dance of pretending to be married, having weird random conversations, and just overall fatigue from the elephant in the room. I know you know. He just stood there, eyes glazed over, hands in his pockets, no emotion whatsoever. As I spoke very candidly about how I feel for him and want him to get healthy but don't appreciate living this way, he proceeded to roll his eyes at me and shake his head. When I asked what that meant, he said he was doing it to himself. I disagree. Body language is everything and he did not show one iota of humility. I also told him it's not up to me to get between him and his secret life, but that I do believe I deserve to be with a man who can actually have sex with a real woman and not need porn to get there. 25 years of this addiction, I'd be a fool to think it had anything to do with me, but it has certainly dulled my sparkle. Our convo was weird. He asked why I was giving him the silent treatment if I knew. I said because I immediately needed a plan and I have no idea what else is lurking behind that secret life of his. The scariest part is always his super calm demeanor. 15 years, 2 kids, a dog, and a life. Done. I'm glad it's out that I at least know. I just don't know the next step. Anyways, thank you for being here. This makes me think that the 85-year-old lady knows more than she's telling you. How else would he know that you know? Who else would alert him that Op came around asking questions? Why are you still contemplating a relationship with him when he is actively cheating, lying and deceiving you? He is going to high extremes to hide his affair partner's location. What is it that you actually know? By his actions, he has chosen to emotionally, mentally and physically get tested for STIs, harm you. By your statement you are only sticking around for sex. What about feeling loved, cherished and having a loyal partner? Your children are being exposed to an unhealthy model of a romantic relationship. This will impact them in the future. Wouldn't you rather be alone and happy than stuck with your WH and miserable? Oh, let me also clarify, we are done. I'm not staying at all. You're right on all points and thank you for your passion in my defense. I probably should have said this in the op. It's done. I commend you for putting yourself and your children first. Actually bringing tears to my eyes. You are worthy of all the best. Make sure to print off all the financials so he doesn't hide money on you. Others even say create a bank account and take your 50%. Print off all the evidence he spent on his illicit activities. Share with your lawyer. I also told him it's not up to me to get between him and his secret life. In what universe is it not the place of a wife to question her husband's lies? I have a lot of trouble following this one. What I mean is, if that's what he wants, I won't stand in the way. I could have worded it better. Your next step is a lawyer, plain and simple. Talk to a lawyer, figure out what rights you do and don't have, and what you can do. Reach out to women's shelters and ask for any resources they may have for people in your position. Ask them about lawyers, they may know some that are sensitive to your predicament. If your husband isn't willing to get counseling and therapy for his issues, and they are his issues, then you need to do whatever you can to protect yourself and your children. If money really is an issue for you, then speaking with the women's shelter about paid part-time work opportunities in the local area that you will then be able to squirrel away some cash while still being there for your children is an option you should consider. It all seems so scary and overwhelming right now, but you need to start moving in a healthy direction for yourself and your children, and if that means leaving him then so be it. But you have a wealth of resources at your fingertips. Just Google women's help in local area, you'll be surprised by what turns up. And a word of advice, do not keep this a secret to protect him, because it won't help you. Build yourself a support network of friends and people you trust and confide in them what's going on, because you'll want and need that support moving forward. I'm so sorry you're going through this. He knows that you know because I'm betting whoever it is he's visiting at that address told him you were over there looking for him. Either the old lady or the neighbor are involved and know what's going on. If the neighbor was a woman, she was likely his AP, or it could be the old lady's daughter or granddaughter who lives there or something, and she's covering for her because she doesn't want trouble. Regardless, you know you need to get STD tested ASAP and get yourself a lawyer. Do you have access to money? Who knows what else this guy is hiding? Next step, divorce. He obviously doesn't want to get better. And you deserve a real man like you said. He is the addict, not you. If he doesn't choose to get better, there is nothing you can do. I missed the part where you explain what he's doing at the old lady's house. I still haven't found out. He claims he puts in a random address as home rather than our real address for safety reasons. I don't know that I'll ever solve the mystery of this part of this story. Mind blown, woman shrugging. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.